Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Cush, and we are here to continue our summer of acid. If you have not tripped on the good stuff so far, we're going to trip you even further. We are in the acetic acid era of this Eras of Acid tour that I am up to. We are going to be talking about acetic acid. Where do we get acetic acid from? Mostly, acetic acid is the main smell that you're smelling when you are dealing with vinegars. So, if we are talking about getting acids and sweeteners and bitters and booze and sometimes umami. Okay, fine, whatever. Don't leave out umami. If we're talking about that, we can start to find interesting ways to make our cocktails balanced that don't necessarily deal with any kind of citrus. That's what we're doing today. That's why I have laid this pineapple upon its side, because we're going to gut this thing pretty hard. We're going to be doing it in 2 different ways. We're going to be making an acetic acid in the form of a shrub, which is an old word, shrub or shrub, which used to mean like a mint water. No, it used to mean that's a gulab. Don't worry about it. A shrub is another word for drink. Just another word for a drink. All kinds of drinks. But as like the daisy came from fancy, as the julep came from guleb, so hath the shrub changed its ways and gotten us here. So this is going to be basically drinking vinegar. I'm going to show you the proper way to begin that process. And then the good thing is tomorrow we're going to be using it. We're not going to be using it tonight. I'm not drinking tonight. And also, we're going to be getting into a tepache. So we're basically using all of the pineapple today to get into a tepache to lactofermate, which would, of course, give us, everybody say it together. That's right, lactic acid. But then we're going to move from lactic acid into acetic acid by over-fermenting some tepache so that we have all of our beautifulness. Now, this is what I was looking for the whole time. Bring me a shrubbery. These are the Knights who say knee. This is a movie that my wife has recently watched, and now she understands this joke. We're bringing you a shrubbery today. Thank you to the Spirit Slab. This is a pineapple, just regular old pineapple, Trader Joe's pineapple. Slightly washed, not scrubbed, just slightly washed. Run it under some water. We don't want to get all of the natural yeasts that live inside here. Kind of gross. Let's see, can anybody see a yeast in here? They're really tiny. There's one. I think that's one right there too. Okay, they just live here on the outside of this pineapple. They are going to be chomping on some sugar and farting out ethanol and carbon dioxide, but mostly lactic acid. Cool? So let's begin with this. We're just going to begin by slicing the little head off of this pineapple. And we're going to take all of the good little fronds, all these little guys. We're going to put them in a bag, and we're going to freeze them. Not right now. Right now, we're going to put them right here. The frozen pineapple fronds are super easy to use. They unfreeze very quickly. You can use them in a cocktail. Obviously, we could take a pineapple corer. That would be a great way to do this, but that's not what we're doing today. Instead, we want to get as much of this pineapple as we can. So we're just going to take our nice sharp knife, and we're going to go kind of deep into our pineapple, and we're going to slice all the way through. All the way through. There we go. This stuff normally garbage, not garbage today. Not garbage today. This is where all of our little yeasty boys live, and the yeasty boys will eventually help us in our lactic acid journey. Moving further. Oh, very low battery. I can't do anything with a very low battery. Okay, battery on low now. Get all this off right here. And this is what the show is. The show is watching a grown man slice a pineapple. We want that bottom out. We're gonna slice this right down here in the middle. We're gonna create some quarters of this because this part right in here, I'll show you again. This part right in here, this is called the core of the pineapple. That is not what you want when you are making a shrub. It does not have all of the good bitter flavors or all the good pineapple flavors. It just has some bitterness. So we're just gonna slice this little core out of here, and we're gonna put this with the trash right there. Slice this little core out of here, put it with the trash. Slice it in half. Go right up here. Slice it off. And one more time. To watch you work, Cush, the stranger says, thank you, Moose. Moose, for those of you that are bored out of your mind, Moose likes it, and he's truly that's my audience. Moose is my audience. They always say when you do anything, when you're performing anything, choose one person and make the show best for that person, and it'll always be a successful show. As long as if you make it too broad for everybody. If everybody likes it, bad show. If Moose likes it, good show. That's what we like. Okay, we're gonna slice these here. I probably have far too much pineapple for this, so we'll probably have a little pineapple for dessert or something. But I want about, and this is where shrubbery comes in. This is how shrubbing goes. Let me give you a shrub formula. See if you guys want to take a second, get a pen, and write this down. Ready? 1 1 1. Got it? 1 1 1. 1 1 1. That's what we're looking for. One part of whatever fruit you are making, one part of whatever sweetener you are adding, we are going to be adding some white sugar to this, and one part of vinegar. All right, but we don't know what vinegar is yet, because what we're going to be doing is throwing this sugar into the fruit. That is going to, instead of creating a simple syrup with pineapple, which is sugar, water, and then pineapple, we're going to be creating a pineapple syrup, no water added. The water is going to be coming from the pineapple, so we're going to get a much bigger flavor. When one of the great bartenders of my life had always told me, don't flavor the water, you dummy. And then he would knock my tins off the thing and then pull my pants over my head. It was crazy. He was a big bully. He would say, don't flavor the water, water the flavor. So the best way we can get the flavor in here is not by adding water at all. The water will come from the vinegar, and the water will come from the pineapple. We're going to cut this in. We're going to 8s here. There we go. We're going to get little bitty slices in here. Now you want these to be nice and tiny. The more surface area you have, the more the sugar has to latch onto. So don't just throw big chunks of pineapple in here. You want it to be unchunky. You want it to be teeny tiny and lots of surface area for these sugars to get into. So we're gonna go ahead and put in, we got a mason right here. Smells all right. Throw in, what do you think that is? Do you think that's 2 cups? Maybe that's a cup. Maybe we'll put in another 1/8 in here. Right there. Got that much. Slice this again. Keep on keeping on. Teeny little bits right there. See if I can cut like a little chef. Fast. Fast like lightning, fast like thunder. I had a bar owner. He would jump. I worked at a high volume craft cocktail bar, which is about the most annoying thing any bartender could do. High volume craft cocktail. Normally you work at a craft cocktail bar. Okay, we're going to take some time. I'm going to make your drink. We have a limit. No, this is like a club, but we made craft cocktails, 5, 7, 12 ingredients, lighting stuff on fire. It was a whole situation. But he would always jump behind the bar. This gentleman, this man, I don't know about how gentle he was, would jump behind the bar, and he'd get behind us and he'd go, Cushman, I got to see you go faster, mate. Faster, mate. I got to see you pour like thunder. Pour like lightning, mate. So every time I feel like I'm going a little slow. I get his head, or his little voice in my head, and it becomes a whole issue. Okay, I think we got about 1.5 cups in there, maybe 2 cups. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this with whatever sugar we got left. We're just gonna use the rest of the sugar. So go ahead and throw in, how much sugar do you think we have in here? Oh, perfect. We got 1.5 cups of sugar. Nailed it. Exactly the amount of sugar I wanted. When I started, I said, I hope I have 1.5 cups. Thank you, Kyle. Pour faster, mate. Pour faster, mate. Faster, mate. Okay. We're going to go ahead and pour this in through here. And all this is going to do is really... It's going to get into the pineapple's business, right? The pineapple will have no opportunity whatsoever to keep little secrets from this sugar. We're going to go ahead and give it a nice shake. This is why, if you look now, this is why we wanted to cut it into teeny little pieces, because every little bit of this pineapple should be covered in sugar, and the more sugar that is touching the pineapple, the more of the, it's not really oleosaccharum. I suppose it is a sugar oil, but it's really going to be just pineapple syrup instead of pineapple simple syrup. That's the whole, that's a little inside jargon for you. Okay, that's that. Thank you guys for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Cush. Just kidding. We have one more thing to do. We have over here our beautiful, very professional, orange for some reason, tepache. This is our tepache maker. I have already put a little less than 1 gallon of water into this guy right here. The tepache is going to be, oh, we got 2 Franks and 2 Amy's. Whew. Whew. Where he was going to get out of hand. Okay, so what we want to put in here is going to be all the refuse, all the stuff that we called garbage earlier. The yeasts don't need to eat all of the good pineapple. That's people food. All right, yeasts, as much as we want to, give them, personify them, they're not people. All right, stop saying they're people. They're not people. They're yeasts. They're almost like little bugs. We're gonna go. Yes, thank you, Bon displacement. Here we come. That's kind of my feeling too, but this is what I wanted to do. This is how I think it's gonna go. We're gonna take our pineapple. We're gonna throw it right in here. We're gonna float this pineapple right in here. This is the bottom. You guys remember the bottom? This is the bottom. We're gonna throw this into here. We're gonna take this little guy, him right there, right into there. Excellent, excellent work. Doing great. Okay, what else are we gonna put in here? I'll tell you. We are definitely going to be doing a little displacement. Let's just take a nice clean glass and let's find a nice small clean glass. Scoop you out of there. No, nothing fits. Give me a second. I can solve this. Solved harder things today already. Jeez Louise. Let's do it like this. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to shot glass it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love it. We're gonna get this whole thing in there. Great, love it. Okay, so now we have all the skins in there. That's pretty typical. That's pretty typical. What else we need is this core. The core was not gonna do us any good inside of our syrup, so we're just gonna say screw it. We're gonna throw it right in there. There should be a 4th one. There we go. Excellent. Now, for those of you that have been around for at least a little bit, you'll know I struggle with tepache. The same way that Mint and I used to absolutely, we used to hate each other. I didn't like it. It didn't like me. Now, suddenly, love affair. Tepache was the exact same way. I was having some issues. Now, let me show you what I have done in order to solve my tepache issues. I ran so many tepache experiments, it got disgusting. But this right here, this is a silicone baking mat. I cut it. I didn't cut it. Let me be honest. My wife cut it. I'm not allowed to use scissors. She cut it so that it's a nice round shape. It's going to go right into here, and this is going to keep everything from popping. Oh wait, hold on. Let's take this out first. let's do the sugar first before we start going crazy. Let me just answer this. This is a troll and a pervert. This is my cousin Eric. What's up, Eric? Good to see you. Yeasts are people too, he says. He's a weird guy. It's a weird guy. And I would say go look him up and see what he's up to, but I don't want to send anybody down that weird hole. Okay, we're going to take 1 cup. We got a gallon of our tepache water with 1 pineapple, skins and all. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1 bonbon. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you do that, he's going to come back. And I mean, listen. You think Grant is odd? This is Grant's favorite cousin. Why? How come I can't get Kara here? It's his older sister. Okay, go ahead and pour this in. Ooh, beautiful. Wow. Ooh. And now let's get a little stir going on in here. You don't need yes, hashtag don't feed Eric. Don't feed Eric. Eric is very much like yeasts. He will eat anything you give him, and he will fart out just alcohol. That's all right, Bonbon. You didn't know. To be honest, Bonbon, you just didn't know. See, this is what you get. Free the yeasts. I mean, what does it even mean? It means nothing. It's not a phrase. It's not a thing people say. Okay. We're going to go ahead and give this a nice little stir here. It doesn't need to be completely mixed in either. The yeast will free themselves. The yeast will free themselves from the outside, and it will go searching for all of the sugar, just as long as it's mostly pretty mixed in here. So if we're looking at, let's remove all these pineapples and try and win our awards. There we go. As long as it's mostly mixed in here, you should be in a good spot. All that pineapple and all that yeast will eventually meet all of this sugar, and you should be good. That's about what we're looking for. Something nice. There's not just one big thing on the bottom. See? And I don't want to blame this all on Bonbon right now, but see, then Grant shows up. Eric shows up, then Grant shows up. And then it's just harder to do a show. It's just harder to do a show. I don't know. I got Grant the foil. I got Eric the pervert. And the rest of us are just now sitting here trying to be normal humans. Okay, this is that silicone thing I was talking to you guys just about just a minute ago. We're going to sort of slide this in right there. Perfect. Now, this is the issue that I was having for so long with my tepache, is I would just let it sit there. The problem with it is little pieces of pineapple would poke their little pineapple penduluses outside of the water, and then it would collect the air. You would get something called oxidation. There we go. What is Bonbon, you are free to kick Grant out if you'd like to. It would oxidize, right? Because there's oxygen in the air that we breathe. You guys know most of this. And so what would basically happen is that little part of the pineapple would become a whole issue. That little part that was sticking out became the problem with the tepache. So this little silicone mold, which for some reason they don't sell with how this goes, with this whole system that we got, that would become the issue with the tepache. I would get sort of like off flavors, things that tasted like plastic, things that tasted like rot. So you don't want any of that. I needed a P word, Jen. I just needed a P word. I don't know if pendulous is a word. And then we have this weight. It's just a big old glass thing. We're going to put this right here on top, float this down, just to keep all of this sort of freely running around. And there we go. So now all of the yeast and all of the pineapple and a lot of the sugar is going to be hanging out on the bottom. And then, well, there it is. We're going to close this up. It's a little full. I might turkey baster some of this out. But this is what we got for our tepache. It's called lacto fermentation. So it will be creating some lactic acid. It will give it a bit of a like a rounder flavor. It'll also pop up some of the more acidic flavors that we're looking for in the summer of acid, which is what we're in right now. And then, of course, it will eventually turn into acetic acid. And that is when we get vinegar. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in here. This is an airlock. So as the yeasts fart, toot, 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 as the yeast, does Eric go away if we answer yes? Eric, do you have 3 riddles for us? Find it out. Question on the shrub. Can you do fruit to sugar by weight, or does it need to be by volume? In fact, Dougie G, probably better if you do it by weight. I didn't do it by weight. Probably better if you do it by weight. Most things when we're dealing with any of these sort of fluid, stuff that is in more or less, not fewer, is better by weight. Just going to get you a better taste of it, or a more succinct. However, the good news is it doesn't need to be exact. Okay. If you guys want Eric to go away, riddle number 1. What gets wetter as it cries? Riddle number 1. You guys asked for this. So now we're going to let that sit. Oh, the answer is, of course, Dr. Cush's trapped yeast. I warned you. I warned you. Now we got a troll. Okay, that is, whales? Kyle's lawyer asks. A cloud? Possibly? No. It's Dr. Cush's trapped yeast. Leave that alone. Thank you. Okay, this is it. This is, of course, a live show, so I don't have any of the finished product ready to go, but we do have the beginnings of what we're going to be doing. We now, on its way, arriving tomorrow, we have lactic acid. Let me tell you exactly what we have coming here. Oh, we have an owl, apparently. We have succinic acid, tartaric acid, lactic acid, and acid phosphate. Not phosphoric acid, acid phosphate. Okay? Be very careful when you get online and start ordering acid phosphate versus phosphoric acid. They are 2 very different things. One of them will kill you, and one of them will make your Coca-Cola taste just slightly better. Cool. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all we have for today. So now we have to wait for the rest of it. Yes, and Tim, if you wouldn't mind helping Eric to the door. I feel like Tim and Eric will get along very, very well. And this sounds like a win-win to Grant. So we've done it. Okay. That's it. That's the show. We're ending later than normal, but a little earlier than we should. We're going to be back tomorrow to finish this experiment. It should take us about, as long as I'm giving it some shakes every once in a while, we can start to see already that I don't want to say the word wet. What's another word? It is getting very much less dry in here. All of that sugar is starting to pull out all of the rest of it. We're going to take this tomorrow, and we are going to make our, don't say moist. Hashtag give it some shakes. Yes, everybody's hydrated. Thank you. Thank you, Bon Bon. Hydrated. We can see that this is getting more hydrated as it sits. Grant is weird about the word wet, and I'm sure Eric has something to do with moist. Hydrated. We are going to let this sit. It is going to start pulling out all of the water there. And then we will have a pineapple syrup, not a pineapple simple syrup. There we go. Oh, this is a great review of the show. It's like school in the summertime. I'll take it, though. That's what I have for you. We're going to be back tomorrow. My lungs will be all cleared up. Damp is also a pretty good word. I think Jen had a good one. Humid. It's looking a little more humid in there. Great. Yes, don't say moist. don't say it. Okay. We're going to be making the rest of this. We're going to be making a cocktail from it. We'll probably be getting into something like a Ruffignac, but with rum instead of brandy. We'll find another acid to get in there so that we can have that brightness of the citric and malic acid. And by the end of next week, we will have some of this guy. We're going to let this now ferment for like 7 days. 5 days in this climate that I live in Los Angeles. 5 days is a perfect tepache bubbliness. It keeps the pineapple flavor, the whole thing. But 7 days is going to be too much, and we're going to, which is what we're looking for. And we're going to get more acetic acid than our lactic acid. Did we do it? Good. All right. I think that will be it. So in the meanwhile, I've had a request. Let me know what you guys think. It was requested by Smokin' Joe. He gets very upset when I turn off the dance music when it's his time to talk. So I'm going to let him talk over the music tonight. Let me know if that is throwing you guys way off or if that is something that you don't want. But for right now, Smokin' Joe wants to talk over the music. So we'll be back here with Smokin' Joe here in just a minute. Please, if you can, watch these names that are going to go by. These are all of my patrons. They keep the bar alive. They are keeping the bar in pineapples and tartaric acid and succinic acid. They're keeping us alive. So thank you to everybody there. The other thing that is keeping this bar alive is all of you guys showing up. We're going to be back here tomorrow, Wednesday, to figure out the rest of the acids that we have. We'll have a whole acid parade at some point. I'll show you everything I got, everything we're going to be using for. And in the meanwhile, I will be just sort of hanging out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Outdrinks. I am Dr. Should label that chart Abby Normal. It's a good reference. I'm Dr. Cush, and what do we always say? We always say, bye-bye.
This is the jam. Oh, why did we turn the music off last night? Look at me. I already look like I'm one of the YMCA boys, hanging out, dancing, me, smoking Joe, doing all the right stuff. Anyway, didn't make a drink tonight, but it's the beginnings, and sometimes the beginnings are the great. I remember when I was just a young little sproutling. Nobody knew would I be an oak tree, would I end up being a captain? Who knows? But this is what I do now. I hold a beer opener and I sit behind Dr. Cush. So pretty good. Anyway, let's Cush, don't forget to play that commercial. All right, here goes the commercial, guys. Don't worry about it. Anyway, hoping this new schedule is working out for everybody. We're gonna be back here tomorrow, and then it's looking like we're gonna be back here most likely next Monday. So it's going to look like Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And that's easy to remember. Oh, that whole Sunday thing. Who knew what that was all about? Bon says Smoking Joe is working. So that's good. Smoking Joe, the Disco King. All right, there we go. Anyway, it's really nice. I do like the music behind me. So from now on, hopefully this doesn't get too distracting for everybody. But that's what I got. I'm Smoking Joe, everybody. And what do we always say? Hey, Dr. Jinga Janga, drop that funky music, white boy. And also, goodbye. We'll see you guys later. Until next time, bye-bye.